Welcome back. So moving on, we're going to take a look at the single view from the workouts and the recipes and the food demos. These are all, again, virtually identical in structure. It's just a little bit different with each for the data. Going into one of the workout items, what we have is a page that has styling similar to the home page where we've got a background image overlaid at the top. The image that is shown is actually a banner image variable, which is a larger version of like a featured image for that particular workout. In the background, we display the title of the workout. Here we have a embedded video of the workout, which we'll come back to. And then down here we have a description of the workout that you'll see is some HTML that we'll look at. And then we display down here all of the details about that workout. So there's a few pieces here, so let's just take a quick look. The web view here, this is a combination of a proxy we're using as well as the video ID to embed the workout video, having to use a web proxy to work with cores across origin requests. We had some positive results and some negative results mixed between platforms until we used a video proxy for embedding from Vimeo. Currently this is working. It's not perfect when it comes to switching device orientations. We do get video restarts and some other things like that we're dealing with, but this is the best solution we have so far. As far as the HTML view below for the description, this we actually have some CSS that we have in a persistent local state variable for styling of this HTML, and then the content we're passing in HTML directly from the API endpoint where we pull the data. Firebase has actually got this field in HTML markup already. So this is combining the HTML to add the styling and the content together so it comes through properly styled. And I'll just show you that real quick. The state has this workout styling HTML, very simple font selection and sizing. And that is just coupled with the actual content to make sure that it is styled the way we want it to look. Moving down, these items are, again, the variables that we have saved that are part of the Firebase data. And then the actual row that it is in is set to be conditionally visible. And our data is set when it is put into Firebase from our automation platform. If there is no data, we instead set the data to something like -1 if it's a number, or none if it's text, and we just conditionally don't display the item if there's no data there. So Firebase wants data, so we just use a value that we can recognize that would never be a real value. In this case, if the length of the workout was not specified for some reason on the website, the automation platform would say the value is -1, and then this conditional visibility here would hide this entire row, and it wouldn't show, effectively just hiding any of these items that does not have valid data in it from the user. We have this trainer value here. On this one, conditional value says if the trainer is not none. This is a text value, so it's got the word none. We repeated this for this whole row. Down here at the bottom, we have these workout styles. These are just a list of the styles that come through. This is a list of data in Firebase, and we just are displaying these here. And then at the bottom, we have the possible equipment items needed for the exercises, and each of these items are also, let me find where we're at here. each of these items are conditionally displayed, and you'll see this resistance band conditionally displayed if the equipment array contains resistance band. Some of the items, when you are checking for them in a list, you do not have the option to just put in a value, so we use the text combination as kind of a workaround and just add just the one item. This is not ideal, but it's really just a matter of figuring out that you can do this. And so we're just looking at an array of strings in Firebase, and we're checking to see if that list has a specific value in it. If so, then we are showing that item. What this does for us, because each of these columns are inside of a wrap, is creates a grid down here that only contains the items that are needed for this exercise. The entire contents of the page here is in a scrolling view. We just have a column here that is scrollable. Another thing to keep in mind when you're dealing with scrolling views is the primary option. We found that any place that we had the primary option on actually created some problems when it came to scrolling and dynamic data. We had a lot of pages that either wouldn't scroll at all on certain devices, or that as soon as you let go of trying to scroll, it would immediately scroll to the top. So we found that if we disabled the primary check, that because of the iOS issues with it, they went away when that was disabled. So we do not have primary enabled on any of our scroll views. That should be it on the workout single. Switching over to the recipe single, we have a very similar setup. This is a image pulled from the document instead of a embedded video. The times are passed in to a custom function that we have. Basically, these are numbers. We're passing them into a function that takes numbers and turns them into hours and minutes. So if it was 45, it would say 45M. If it was 80, it would say 1 hour, 20 minutes, just to make this a little cleaner for displaying. The course and cuisine here are, again, lists of strings in Firebase that are being listed out here. And then the columns that contain these are conditionally visible in case the list has the word none in it. That means the list is empty. And then both this column containing the word course and the items, as well as this section above that has the decorative divider for that part, are conditionally hidden. So we only show items that are present in the data for this particular recipe. Servings and calories are pulled from the Firebase data directly. Ingredients, we did this in a similar way to the description for the workouts. We have the styling HTML coupled with the ingredients HTML that we generated in our automation platform, just to create the markup in a way that worked well for us. And then we repeated the same steps with two different sets of data, the instructions and the notes present for the recipes. Lastly, we have the nutrition, which is the same thing. This one had a lot more on the automation side to generate all of the data as needed, but from an app standpoint, it's just the generated HTML that's in Firebase coupled with any of the styling notes here, which is just, again, the font sizing and formatting. That's it on this page. The food demo single is a clone of this as well. And so there's no difference there. We just have the food demo single that has the embedded video, the description, and then if there's an associated recipe, this is a link back to a recipe for it. and if there's associated document, this is a link to that document. These, of course, are also conditionally shown. If the data isn't there, the button won't be there. There was a lot on this one, but that pretty much covers all of the data on the single views for those. So in the next one, we'll take a look at a few more pages.